Yo, what's good, y'all, man? We finna get into this story. Booka600 called and take upon a rat. If y'all know who these people is, they from O Block. We'll take upon from O Block. Forget what Booka folks is from. But let's dive into it.
Booka is one of the main niggas for who can't even come back around, gang. Like, he can't come back around right now, folks, because of Booka. He done did, folks. Booka breath used to be smelling like shit, bro. Bruh. That time folks talk, all I heard was bruh. Yo, face. Yo, your face, please.
Yeah.
With sugar on top.
I don't know it all, but Patreon at WW will be dropping the latest tea there first, behind the scenes. Now, this is the moment we all kind of expected to come sooner or later. Because for y'all that don't know, Capone, a member of 600, has changed his life and is doing content on YouTube where he's basically speaking on past situations that happen within the drill culture that the public may or may not know of. If y'all haven't caught it, I advise y'all to do so because they're actually interesting. Who would have thought that we'd be seeing anybody from the drill culture doing content, speaking on serious and real situations that happen at a time where bodies were literally dropping every other day on both sides of the GD and BD war. Keep in mind, he keeps it entertaining. Now, of course, you have some people that's going to agree with it, but then you're going to have those that don't. And usually the ones that don't are the ones that either story involved them in a negative light or they just don't like how they're being portrayed. One thing I could say is that Tay usually speaks on old situations where it's not too policey as Truth Teller would say, and he's not speaking on anything current to get anybody in trouble. But once again, if the story makes you look like the butt of the joke, then it's common sense that you aren't gonna like it, and that's what we're seeing here with Booka600. Now it's also surprising a little because we don't usually hear or see too much about Booka, especially seem to be mad on social media and antagonizing another 600 member. Usually he's to himself, but I guess Capone may have said something that rubbed him the wrong way and he decided to do a little trolling of his own. He decided to make a few statements to where he, I guess, is reflecting on a time of his own where it involves him basically calling Capone a rat and allegedly getting the guy some time behind bars due to his actions according to Booka600. Now this is ironic because we know that there's always been these allegations on Capone's name, so for Booka to come out and say this, knowing they share the same set, will start making people wonder whether it's true or not because they will assume that he knows what's going on behind the scenes. But here's my thing with that. When people decide they want to call themselves exposing others that they were once cool with, whenever it's convenient, it says a lot about that person. Why? Because that means you always felt like that in the back of your head and it just took the right thing to get it out of you. And y'all wonder why backdooring and slime situations are at an all-time high, but it's mainly because a lot of the guys don't really be the guys and be having secret animosity against their guys, and all it takes is the right thing to reveal it.
Okay.
Sometimes they get out of hand and lead to dudes end up taking each other's lives and leave everybody wondering why he or she did that to their own friend. But
that's why what's the point of being in the streets, man? Dog, don't turn against each other. That's all we're gonna do at the end. After we get done, you know what I'm saying, smoking the ops and shit. You know? After all that shit gone, then we gonna slick each other out after that. You know what I'm saying? Bruh. Ain't no point of this shit, man.
It's because it was always in them, honestly. Just look at the situation with Gyro City Little Mike, who was allegedly shot and unalived by someone he knew over a dispute. If you could pull a trigger and unalive someone you call a friend over a dispute, more than likely y'all was never really friends. That's another story. We're going to get into what Booka had to say and take Capone's response, which may have been a response or not. And then we're going to get into why Booka said what he said and probably going off the way he is. So before we get into it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. Now, let's get into it. Now, in the hail of IG story posts, in which he would delete shortly after, ironically, Booka would make some interesting claims in regards to Take600, aka Take Capone. He would take to his IG story, and in the first slide, he would state, quote, You gotta tell the stories about when the six took your effing pipe, or when you dooted on yourself trying to be something you not, or the stories where you told on them guys and got them 40 years at LA Gang. Then, in the next slide, he would stay quote. Laughing emojis. You a comedian, ain't you? Let's laugh about it. Then in the last post regarding the situation, he would stay quote. I love F, he apologized to a rat. I love M thing, same ish. I'm just talking ish, please don't get me booked, please. I never wanted to be nothing but positive, laughing emoji. So it's looking like Booka ain't for all the jokes, and he decided to have a couple of his own. One, being the ultimate take Capone ratted allegations. Now if y'all been around the drill culture long enough, y'all know that this been a running thing for the longest. Some people feel Tay told, some people feel he didn't. It just is what it is. Now with Booka saying it, clearly he feels that way, but the real question is, for how long? And if he does, then the other question is, why wait so long to say something about it? Unless he made it clear behind the scenes and we just don't know. Or maybe is this the reason we never really see Booka around in the first place? We usually just see Booka when we catch glimpses of him in T Grizzly videos or vlogs, to the point.
Yeah, he be mostly solo dolo. He don't be around a group of niggas or none of that shit. He be really by himself and shit. He stay to himself, really. Maybe that's what it is.
Where he basically Grizzly Gang. I don't know. Now when it comes to these posts, I wonder what got him this mad. It can only be one or two things I could think of that got him this mad at Tay Capone. It could be the time where Tay Capone went live and did a story time on Booka600 breath, smelling like straight doodle, or the time where he said Booka can't come around no more because he gave one of the guys' location to the ops. Check this out.
He said, yeah, I just talked to bro, Booka. I just talked to bro. He broing out of Booka, right? Booka is one of the main niggas for who can't even come back around, gang. Like, he can't come back around right now, folks, because of Booka he did, folks. Not only with Mimo, what he knew Foden was finna try to take off on Mimo, Milio, and Mizzle, 3600 niggas. Booka knew that was about to happen, bro. And he let it happen. He ain't stopped it from happening. But you blowing up Booka, folks. What else Booka do? Let me give y'all a hypothetical situation and let me just tell y'all what happened. Let's just say two hoods get into it with each other that used to be clicked up, right? One of the hoods is 600. These two hoods bump. Come on, gang. I ain't gonna come up here screaming because that ain't what I'm on for. But y'all know, folks.
Then you have the second video where he's talking about Booka having bad oral hygiene and breath smelling like he just ate doodoo caviar. Y'all check this out.
Booka breath used to be smelling like bro.
Bruh.
Like, I swear, bro, no trolling, no none. I used to tell, I'm talking about Dookie. I ain't gonna lie. Every time folks talk, all I heard was
Yeah.
all that cigarettes, cinnamon toast crunch,
Cinnamon toast
hoops,
crunch.
all that he ate in the morning, folks. I ain't gonna lie, folks.
You call him poop
Dookie
hoops.
crisp,
Bruh.
everything, folks. Then he had the nerve to be having a girlfriend at a time. She already spending the night at his crib. I used to be in the front thinking, like, gee, she really be waking up. They be, we young as hell. They waking up in the morning at 8:39 in the morning. Man, what? Y'all don't smell that Dookie?
Now I get it. Either one of those could make someone mad, especially if it's true. You don't want nobody talking about your breath smelling like Dookie, especially if it really does. Because all it takes is for someone who really knows him and really feel the same way to see that video and be like, nah, I thought it was just me. And once you get people to start agreeing with something like that, it's over. Now, as far as the other thing, he never denied it. He never said he didn't do it. And honestly, if he did give up his friend's location to their ops, that'd be crazy. How could you explain giving one of your friend's locations to someone who they clearly just had a shootout with? I would love to know what his reason was for that, because it definitely don't make no sense. Now, as far as the post, Tay Capone didn't really respond, but he did repost a post from another 600 affiliate by the name of M Thing, who was also mentioned by Booka in those same posts. Take Capone would repost the post that stated, quote, "The biggest threats and biggest names in the street ish done lost their life to this ish. You ninjas better stop thinking y'all untouchable. This ish can happen to anybody, any day."
Literally.
And I don't know if that was a shot at Booka in a little subliminal yet
Real
cryptic
shit,
way.
man.
However, it is a real post. We've seen on numerous occasions some of the biggest guys in the drill culture who felt nothing can happen to them got made an example out of. Nobody is untouchable.
Everybody got
For every tough person, there's somebody tougher or someone who feels they're just as tough as you. Time after time, we've seen guys say they can't be touched and end up getting touched shortly after. Crazy. And the crazy part about seeing all this, every time I see guys from the same set going back and forth with each other, it reminds me of that time when Truth Teller said, quote, "At some point, these guys' ops are all going to be dead and they're going to start beefing with each other."
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what
Pretty
we've been
much.
seeing since then. The ops is either dead or in jail, and it seemed like these guys are resorting to going back and forth with each other.
Shit, these niggas, you know what I'm saying? They killed they, like I said, they ops died. Shit, bored, folk. They just started turning on each other and shit. You know? It's bored. Now they gotta turn on each other and shit, shoot at each other now. You know what I'm saying? Shit, crazy. That's why I'm saying, like, ain't no point of being in the streets and shit. That shit over with.
Crazy. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. How do y'all feel about what Booka600 had to say? And is he right or wrong for going public with how he feel? Don't forget to like, comment, share.
For real, that shit is over with. All right, chat.